I am a director who is good at making TV dramas and movies. Li Hao. Starting from 2008, Li Hao's career as a director began in this era when Chinese cinema began to take off. He is not inferior in the entertainment industry, not willing to go all out to gain fame, and not going to great lengths to attract traffic. Keywords of the novel. Huayu has been a director since 2008 without pop-ups. Huayu has been a director since 2008. Download the complete TXT series, and Huayu has been a director since 2008. Read the latest chapters. Chapter 1. Golden Finger. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1 Golden Finger at 7:50 p.m. on August 8, 2008 Hotel, a king-sized room. Li Hao lay wrapped in a towel, staring absent-mindedly at the upcoming opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics. The two major events that occurred consecutively this year reminded him once again that he was a reborn person. Yes, he has a secret that no one told him, which is that he is actually a reborn person. Once, he thought that if he could be reborn, he would become a top student and a business tycoon like Ma Huatang. In short, after rebirth, one can summon wind and rain. But after being reborn, the cruel reality told him that for those without a system, whether they should fight the streets or not, they must fight the streets. After 3 years of hard work, his academic performance was not outstanding. In his sophomore year, he fully realized that reading requires talent. Without talent, no matter how hard he worked, it would be difficult to get into a 985 university. So, Li Hao re-planned his life. His biggest advantage is having a handsome face and some vague memories. He resolutely participated in the Army of Art exams and then smoothly entered Beijing. It's not a performance department, but a directing department. His handsome face, in front of the handsome and beautiful performance department, is simply ordinary. So he chose the directing department, thinking about this major. Even if he can't become a big director in the future, becoming a small director can still lead a fulfilling life. The first thing Li Hao did when he entered Beijing was to find a girlfriend. After all, what kind of university is it without dating? He doesn't want to leave any regrets for his college career. Carefully observing his performance department in the same year, he only knew 2 people, Zheng Shuang and Jing Tian. Zheng Shuang, in my impression, is very popular. She is a top-tier celebrity with countless fans and is a reliable first-tier female celebrity. She earns a lot of money, and her daily income is equivalent to the income of an ordinary person for a lifetime. And Jing Tian, Li Hao only has 2 deepest impressions. One is various legends. No matter how much resources are invested, they will not become popular. The other is Sito, who has captivated him. He decisively chose Jing Tian. After all, Zheng Shuang was too good at tinkering. His thin arms and legs couldn't withstand the turmoil. However, Jing Tian seems to be filled with various black materials, but in reality, there are no solid hammers, and it is relatively unpopular. A woman chasing a man is separated by a veil, while a man chasing a woman is separated by a mountain. It took a lot of effort to catch up with Jing Tian. At this moment, the sound of water flowing in the bathroom stopped. Not long after, Jing Tian came out wrapped in a towel. Clear water produces hibiscus, naturally exquisitely crafted. It's incredibly beautiful. No beauty, no filters, but it has already instantly killed countless internet celebrities. Li Hao was a bit stunned. At this moment, the opening ceremony on television began. The awkward atmosphere between the two eased a bit, and they lay on pillows, watching the opening ceremony. A flickering flame suddenly rushed over the bird's nest, creating a brilliant halo and successfully activating the ancient and mysterious sundial. In the center of the stadium, with powerful strikes, the 2008 ancient Chinese percussion instrument Fo emitted a heart-stirring sound. Looking at the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics again, Li Hao was still deeply shocked. Unlike his previous life where he only watched the excitement, this time he used his 1-year major to view it, and he deeply admired teacher Zhang. Being able to direct such an unprecedented Olympic opening ceremony, the name of the national teacher is truly true and not false. The blood is boiling, and the atmosphere is just right. The opening ceremony has just ended, and Li Hao's battlefield has just begun. Everything comes naturally. Li Hao finally shed his bitterness in his heart and became a true man. The next day, the sky has just brightened. Li Hao was awakened by the commotion beside him, and when he opened his eyes, he saw Jing Tian beside him. At this moment, he appeared quiet again. The eyelashes couldn't help but move slightly, clearly pretending to be asleep, and Li Hao didn't expose her. Li Hao lay quietly, with a hint of melancholy on his face. Starting from today, completely abandon unrealistic expectations and hold Jingtian's thighs tightly. Soft rice is hard to eat, isn't it fragrant? Suddenly, Li Hao was stunned. He found that the Sito he had seen became incredibly clear. It is incredibly clear, as if I have watched it dozens of times, forming a deep memory that I can never forget. Every line, every expression of a character, every piece of clothing, is clear and distinct. What's going on? Although most of my past life memories have become blurred, how could it be that everything about Sito suddenly become clear? Li Hao couldn't help but rub his eyes and pinched his thigh flesh. Pain. Very painful. At this moment, Li Hao finally confirmed that he was not an illusion caused by overwork. Is it difficult? Is this my golden finger? Li Hao's heart gradually became excited. Having a golden finger and not having a golden finger are completely different things. Excited in the heart, but did not show it. He quietly closed his eyes. Gradually, not only were the visuals clear and the lines clear, but even the script appeared. Li Hao felt unbelievable. Has he read the script of Sito? I don't think so. But now, to my surprise, the script is clear in my mind. Li Hao swallowed his saliva. It seems that I don't necessarily know how to be a street thug. Golden finger. This is my own golden finger. He is extremely certain. After confirmation, Li Hao was also a man with golden fingers, and he was extremely excited. He never expected that after being reborn for 6 years and fully realizing the cruel reality, he would activate the golden finger on the day of the opening ceremony of the Beijing Olympics. The popularity and reviews of Sito are very high, and Jing Tian has once again become popular thanks to Sito. Now, Sito's TV dramas and scripts are all in my mind. In addition, with his mediocre directing skills, there is also a chance to film Sito. Shooting Sito, Jing Tian can become popular, the star path will be smoother, and he can also have representative works and enter the director's circle. Thinking of this, Li Hao was extremely excited. At this moment, he felt as if he had been beaten with chicken blood, and his whole body was in a state of excitement. Li Hao got up from the bed. Start the computer and open the Word document. Script name. Sito, plot summary. In 1946, the celestial master Dao Changqiu Mountain killed the female demon Sito in the town of Shanghai. Before her death, Sito's mouth showed a strange smile of relief. In 2008, Qin Fang, a man, went to the western region with his girlfriend to search for an ancestral benefactor in Nangqian. The car was destroyed and fell off a cliff. The sharp stakes at the bottom of the cliff pierced her heart, and the dripping blood revived the buried female demon. She claimed to be Sito and died in 1937. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Sito. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2 Sito. Yes. Li Hao got up to write the script for Sito. He's scared. Afraid that this memory is only temporary. So he needs to write down the script while his memory is clear. With a script, even if your memory is blurry, you can slowly think about it and shoot it. He was typing words on the document with a clattering sound. In the first 3 years, he wrote 2 novels with over 20 million words, which helped him improve his typing speed. The Wubi input method can type 10,000 words per hour. Main characters. Sito, Qin Fong, Shenin Deng, Sito. A product of the alien race in a different world, mutated in the southwest. He is ruthless in nature and never fails to defeat enemies. He cuts his teeth and becomes pale when hanging his door. Qin Fong, handsome, fell off a cliff in an accident and resurrected Sito with his own blood. He was chosen as a servant by Sito, and the two of them completed 5 tasks of Sito's plan. However, they accidentally fell into a conspiracy 70 years ago and discovered that Qin Fong had already been entangled with Sito. Shenin Deng, who was very familiar with Sito, originally belonged to the tribe and had a cruel personality. He killed Shen Suiqiao but framed Sito for it. Later, he was seriously injured by Magu Cave and used the forged identity of his descendants to hide in the hanging door. Later, Sito seized his demonic power. In the first act, Sito came out of his home and walked gracefully in the alley. With a crackling sound, Li Hao was typing on the keyboard. A line of words appears quickly. Quickly, page after page. Are you writing a script? Jing Tian couldn't help but look surprised in his eyes. I'm all writing novels, isn't it normal to write scripts? Li Hao saved the file and sent it to his QQ email. Ran over Jingtian's slender waist and let her sit on her lap. Jingtian's big eyes flickered, and she realized that the boyfriend she was looking for was like a treasure boy. The college entrance examination score is 600 points, which is 3 times her score. She looks a bit handsome, but full of talent. The online novel, Fighting Against the Sky, published last year earned millions of RMB, much more than what she earned. Director's department, but now they can still write scripts. This treasure boy seems to have an inexhaustible treasure. She didn't know that her boyfriend initially wanted to hug her thighs, but there was nothing she could do. He was so foolish and sweet that he was easy to deceive. Okay, you're amazing. Jing Tian wrapped his hands around Li Hao's neck. Which aspect is impressive? Li Hao raised his eyebrows. It's all impressive, okay. Jing Tian began to read the document and immediately became fascinated. Immersed in the script, unable to extricate oneself. She substituted the female lead, as if she were Sito, Sito was her. Vaguely, she felt as if she had acted in this play. In her mind, she is Sito and Li Hao is Qin Fong, portraying a touching love story that touches people's hearts. The love story between humans and demons is always the most addictive. How about it, the script is okay, isn't it? Li Hao's hands were a bit dishonest. It's so touching, it's written so well. Jingtian's eyes were slightly moist. We must make it happen. I'll be the female lead and you'll be the male lead, as our love story. I don't have enough money, I'll invest. This sentence, the moat energy is soaring. However, Li Hao likes to have a wealthy girlfriend. The script has just been completed and needs to be further polished, but your schedule can be made available, said Li Hao. Jing Tian said, a woman's epic has already been completed, and she doesn't have a job for now. Now she has just entered the film and television industry, with a small transparent one and no status. There is a 28-rule rule in society, which is even more exaggerated in the entertainment industry. The 19 rule is very conservative. Today's meal is destined to be eaten in the hotel room. Otherwise, it's always inconvenient to support Jing Tian to the restaurant. Li Hao continues to refine his ideas in other areas. Title: Sito Director. Li Hao Screenwriter. Li Hao Female Lead. Sito, Beiying Jingtian Male Lead. Qin Fong Li Hao Male Supporting Character. Qiu Shan. Only 20 characters of all sizes are needed. Shooting locations: Shangri-La, Dali, Zishuangbana, Wuxi, Hengdian. Gradually improving. In addition to portraying love stories between humans and demons, Sito's stunning costumes and beautiful scenic spots are essential. Clouds and mist envelop a fairyland, complemented by murmuring streams, creating a free and pure ethereal beauty that makes one yearn for it. At night, the main cast list is almost complete. North Electric Performance Department, there is no shortage of people. From the elderly to the children, there is no shortage. That's not just about students, but also teachers and that big network. At night, the two were immersed in a fantasy and suspenseful love. Sito, Qin Fang, two people actively engaged in the play and entered the play early. For a long time, the night was quiet. Li Hao quietly closed his eyes. In my mind, scenes flashed by, taking the director's perspective and filming each scene of Sito. It's really unbelievable. Li Hao was deeply shocked. At this moment, he only felt that he was a director who had been working in the directing industry for several years, rather than a novice in the directing department. This golden finger is too strong, isn't it? It's just perfect for him to mix in the entertainment industry. Will Glory of the Tang Dynasty appear later? Li Hao muttered to himself. His biggest impression of Jing Tian is Sito, and a little more, it's Shen Zhenju from Glory of the Tang Dynasty. However, Shen Zhenju's impression has become very blurry. Also, if it were someone else, would anything else come out? Li Hao vaguely anticipated. Goldfinger, he still has to slowly explore. The next day, I woke up early in the morning. Li Hao started sketching briefly with a pencil. With the movement of the pen tip and the passage of time, a sketch gradually becomes clear. His level of drawing is quite good, and he can rank in the upper middle of the directing department. Okay, actually, there are only 20 undergraduate directors in their current class. One picture after another is good. Inside, all of them are Sito, but the costumes are different, including wearing Chong Sam, holding umbrellas, and also having a thin gauze cloak style. Sito spends a lot of money on clothes, not repeating dozens of sets, changing multiple sets in one episode. The sets are exquisite and beautiful, and each set is more beautiful than the other, truly portraying the beauty of the world's wealthy and noble flowers. When Jing Tian woke up, Li Hao had already drawn over 20 pictures. Lake green gold embroidered qipao, off-white embroidered coat, beige embroidered gold embellished bead vintage qipao. Jing Tian looked at the words in astonishment. She didn't expect Li Hao to have such good drawing skills. What surprised her even more was that Li Hao used her as a model for his paintings. Is it so beautiful to wear a qipao yourself? How come I don't know? She has never worn a qipao and can't even imagine herself wearing it. Suddenly, Jing Tian looked at Li Hao with a strange look in his eyes, wondering how his head was growing. He would think about all these messy things all day. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. A good start. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. A good start. It took some effort to create the entire split shot. Work during the day and also at night. After a few days, Li Hao, who was too tired, felt a bit sluggish in his steps. The two of them left the hotel and drove to the school. Usually, at the entrance of Beijing School, there are always many luxury cars parked with drinks such as mineral water and Red Bull on top. As for the current summer vacation period, there is no car parked at the school gate. Parking in the nearby parking lot, the two of them walked into the school holding hands. The large school is mostly empty, but the teachers are all here. In a few days, new students will start school. Jing Tian walked towards the performance department with a sunshade, and she made several friends who were all going to star in Sito. Li Hao is heading towards the directing department. After finding the office of the deputy director with ease, he politely knocked on the door. Enter. A sound came from inside. Li Hao politely opened the door and then saw a middle-aged man sitting at his desk looking at him through his glasses on the bridge of his nose. My eyes are full of surprises. Li Hao politely bowed. Teacher Wang. Li Hao, right. Wang Hongwei thought for a moment and finally remembered, is there anything wrong? Wang Hongwei, deputy director of the Department of Directing and also one of Li Hao's teaching professors, offers courses such as Fundamentals of Directing, Director Creation, Film Analysis, and Audiovisual Language. The directing department is not lacking in famous directors who have participated in the creation of film and television works. Wang Hongwei has some impression of Li Hao because he is the only online writer in the entire college and is said to have made a lot of money. In theory, it's still summer vacation time now. Except for the new students who are about to start military training, all other grades don't start until mid-September. How did Li Hao come to school? He is somewhat puzzled by Li Hao's intentions. Li Hao respectfully placed the script in his hand, as well as the 100 or so initial drafts he had drawn, on his desk. Teacher Wang, I'm here to see you. I created a script and wanted to shoot it. I would like you to take a look at the script and check it out. Li Hao's attitude was quite respectful. It's not that easy to shoot, Sito. The shooting equipment is a problem. If Wang Hongwei can be moved, then we can use the school's filming equipment to solve this problem. Even the subsequent release will not be a problem. Script. Upon hearing this, Wang Hongwei was truly surprised. Li Haoka has only been in the directing department for a year and will only be a sophomore next semester. A rookie who actually wants to write his own script and become a director. Do you want to go to heaven? However, thinking that Li Hao's online novels were well written, Wang Hongwei also became interested in them. Wang Hongwei flipped over. Sito. Wang Hongwei frowned and said, this name has been obtained. It's not up to par. He just wanted to throw it away after watching the title. However, in the spirit of being responsible to the students, he still endured his disgust and looked at it. Gradually, he became more and more immersed in it. After a long time, he put down the script. The script is well written, but there are some issues, such as the plot being more compact. Wang Hongwei showed a serious expression and began to comment, in this way, without 32 episodes, 28 episodes can be told, and the plot is compact and exciting. Li Hao's face turned slightly red. After Wang Hongwei's words, he realized that the 32 episodes of this drama were actually filled with inspiration. Okay. It's normal to think about it. At that time, TV dramas were sold according to the number of episodes, and the more episodes they had, the more they sold. As for integrity, what is integrity and how much does it cost per kilogram? Thank you very much for your suggestion, Teacher Wang. I will revise the script carefully. Li Hao quickly said with gratitude. Wang Hongwei waved his hand and said, you don't have any experience in film and television work. It would be great if you could write a script like this. I just pointed out some flaws and made some suggestions. It's up to you whether to adopt them or not. Subsequently, Wang Hongwei looked at the split shot. Paintings have already told the story, complementing the entire script. A hint of surprise flashed in Wang Hongwei's eyes. He didn't expect that Li Hao had already prepared so much work, even the director's script was done well. And from this foundation, not to mention undergraduate students, even if we include graduate students, there is no one who can match Li Hao. I used to be. I looked around. I didn't expect this year's director department to still hide such a piece of gold. Wang Hongwei began reading seriously. Time passes by minute by second. In the entire office, there was only an occasional sound of flipping pages. About half an hour later, Wang Hongwei finished reading it all. The split shots were done very well, and the story was also good. I can see that you have spent a lot of time and energy, Wang Hongwei said. If you don't have a way, I can introduce you to a company and you can try your luck. Li Hao said awkwardly, Teacher Wang, I want to shoot it myself. It's worth 8 million yuan, but I can still produce it. Wang Hongwei was taken aback. Looking at Li Hao with some disbelief. Li Hao, how could you be so rich? Teacher Wang, I wonder if I can rent some school equipment to shoot. Li Hao no longer concealed his purpose at this moment. This is not a big problem. Please write your application and I will help you submit it to the college. Wang Hongwei laughed. Li Hao was overjoyed and didn't expect Wang Hongwei to agree like this. Quickly in the office, writing the application. Half an hour later, Li Hao left the office. After calling Jing Tian, Li Hao walked towards the Starbucks coffee shop. In addition to Jing Tian, there are also a few people in the coffee shop, all from the school. I am also going to play the role in Sito this time. How about it, did Teacher Wang agree to help? Jing Tian couldn't help but ask. Li Hao made an okay gesture. Yeah. Jing Tian jumped up happily. This is a good start. Others looked at Li Hao with a slight change in their eyes. They are still students and rookies, but Li Hao has already embarked on the path of directing. In the film and television industry, directors are undoubtedly at the top of the pyramid. Although they were all of similar age, they were already far ahead. Give yourself a role, and you still have to be grateful. Li Hao chatted with a few people and gradually became familiar with them. Moving on to the same crew and getting to know each other is beneficial for filming. However, the urgent task now is to register a company, whether it is to establish a production team later, sign a contract with actors, or sign a contract with a television station. A company is essential. In the film and television industry, there are many well-known companies. If he could have signed a film and television company in the past, Li Hao would have been overjoyed. Now, with the golden finger, he doesn't want to. Being able to be your own boss and have the possibility of success, why go to work and let capitalists exploit you? Being your own boss, even if it's 996, is still willingly done. After all, I work for myself, and it's up to me to earn more or less. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Everything is ready, only the east wind arrives. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 4. Everything is ready, only the east wind arrives. Registering a company does not require Li Hao to personally do it. Agency, one-stop service. It only takes less than half a month. Li Hao and Jing Tian arrived at a residential area next to the school. The first thing Li Hao did when he came to BJ last year was to buy a house nearby. As early as 6 months ago, this house was fully decorated and ready for occupancy. Li Hao occasionally comes over to stay. There are refrigerators, air conditioners, and so on, everything is in stock. I used to stay in a hotel for a sense of ceremony. At such an important moment, how can there be no sense of ceremony? Opening the door, changing their slippers, the two of them entered, and the first thing they did was turn on the air conditioning. On a hot day, it's really impossible to stay without air conditioning. Then I went to take a shower, sweating profusely. It was really uncomfortable not to take a shower. An hour later, the two of them came out of the bathroom. Changing into home clothes, Li Hao opened his computer. Download the files in your email to the e-drive. By the way, delete Kuaibua and all the over 100 gigabytes videos. I feel a bit reluctant, but in order to maintain my image in my girlfriend's heart, I have to grit my teeth and delete it. Having stabilized his mind, Li Hao opened the Word document. There are scripts and split shots, but that's not enough. Firstly, a production team consists of a director, production team, photography team, art team, and recording team. The director team includes a director, assistant director, executive director, and recording team. The production team also needs a production director, on-site production, live production, external production, supervision, overall planning, and finance. The production team includes a production director, production team, and production assistant. The photography team needs a photographer, deputy photographer, photography assistant, mechanical worker, lighting engineer, and lighting assistant. As for the art group, it requires a chief artist, deputy artist, art assistant, as well as clothing, props, makeup, and other groups. The recording group also includes a recording engineer and a recording engineer. Li Hao serves as the director, screenwriter, and male lead actor, so an assistant director is essential. Some people can save, while others cannot. After all, the production team alone needs to have around 10 people. This is still about building a crew, and besides that, there is another important thing. Soliciting sponsorships. This time, the actor's remuneration is almost negligible and meaningful. But the clothing is big, just Sito's 56 pieces of clothing. These clothes all need high-end goods, completely highlighting the image of a wealthy and noble flower in the world. If it were low-end goods, it would be a drag. If everyone were to customize their own clothes, it would probably cost 2 to 3 million RMB just for Sito's 56 pieces of clothing. And if sponsorship can be found, this money can be saved. In addition, there are also scenic spot photography, cars, and more. Use good steel on the blade and try to spend more money on shooting. Moreover, there are some special effects involved here, so we can't create a 50% special effect. Clattering on the keyboard. 2 plans have finally taken shape. Sito, come and take a look, let's work together as staff officers. Qin Fong, what is the staff officer? 2 actors, enter the play early. Sito, these are 2 plans. Take a look at the introductions of anyone you know, as well as the sponsor. Do you know anyone? Li Hao took Jingtian's hand and asked her to sit on her lap, pointing to the file he opened. I don't know as many people as Jingtian in this regard. Jingtian has already made his debut and even starred in a TV drama. Let me take a look. Jingtian looked up and said, these personnel are not difficult to find. I will contact them later. That's it, sponsor. Why not customize it privately? It shouldn't cost much. Jingtian's big eyes flashed with a hint of doubt. Sito, just the clothes you want, there are 56 sets, estimated to cost 2 to 3 million RMB. Li Hao said unhappily, the investment for the entire drama is about 10 million renminbi. We can't just focus on clothing and jewelry, let's take up 1/3 of it. Then I can buy it. Kaneda said naturally. It seems very reasonable. However, the cost of this uniform may be too high. If you tear it apart, it will cost tens of thousands of yuan. Li Hao had to patiently explain, and in the end, Jingtian finally understood. And then she took on this matter, she knows quite a few of these brands. This Sito has more than 10 sets of Qipao alone, it is definitely an exciting Qipao show. The main focus of Sito is 3 parts, one is the plot, one is the scenery, and the other is Sito's clothing. Sito basically changes into a new set of clothes every day, which are gorgeous and exquisite, and can be worn directly on the red carpet. As for the clothing of other actors, it is actually easy to solve, just rent it. Jingtian began to connect, first with the crew members. Now that the actors have all been taken care of, then with the crew members, the issue of people in Sito has been resolved. Secondly, it is about soliciting sponsorship. Li Hao began to revise the script. He accepted Wang Hongwei's suggestion and deleted some unnecessary elements to make the plot more concise and coherent. He believes that Wang Hongwei's statement is correct, because he remembers the final plot of Sito, which becomes sluggish, and the originally climaxed plot becomes inexplicable and unable to go up. When the audience feels the same way, it indicates that others will also have the same feeling when watching. Moreover, there are indeed many plot flaws and contradictions before and after. For example, Qiu Shan's forced whitewashing, Bai Ying's failure to kill Cang Hong, and Bai Jin's excessive scenes are all against character and plot. Li Hao made revisions to the plot, which made it much more compact and the character images more vivid. As for the number of episodes, there are only 29 left. In the following time, Li Hao was busy preparing for the production team while also searching for sponsors with Jingtian. After working hard for a few days, I basically got everything done. Deputy director, executive director, scriptwriter, photographer, lighting engineer, graphic designer, makeup artist and other crew members have all been taken care of. And Wang Hongwei also called him, telling him good news that the school has approved his application. Rent 3 professional-level cameras and other equipment to Li Hao. Li Haosen was overjoyed. You should know that these 3 professional-level cameras can shoot movies. It's not easy for directing students to touch them once a semester. The school is really awesome. In addition, with sponsors, it can be said that everything is ready except for the east wind. Just wait, once those clothes are made, they can all be completed. Haotian Media has also processed it. All official seals, legal representative seals, financial seals, contract seals, business licenses, etc. have been issued. Li Hao went to Industrial and Commercial Bank of China to open an account, and the entire company could operate. The crew was established and obtained the official seal and dedicated account of the crew, with a crew account of 10 million renminbi. The actors and other crew members signed the contract, representing the formal determination of the contractual relationship between the two parties. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. Startup Shooting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5 Startup Shooting September 1st. When elementary and middle school students welcome the first day of school. And on this day, it was also the opening ceremony of Sito, held in Shangri-La. At 6 o'clock in the morning, Li Hao was awakened by the alarm clock. Feeling drowsy and reluctant to sleep for a while longer. Yesterday, the plane arrived in Shangri-La and went on a tour. In the evening, I became interested and couldn't help but ask Jing Tian to study the movements together. At this point, the sequelae of playing yesterday are highlighted, with some back pain and back pain. Pressed the alarm and let it go for a while. At this moment, he realized that there were some acting skills in his mind, all about Qin Fang's acting skills, including body movements, facial expressions, and lines. Li Hao was greatly surprised. During this period, he and Jing Tian, one played Qin Fang and the other played Sito, constantly learning to perform, but still felt that something was wrong. He is not a professional and has no acting experience. But at this moment, he seemed to have opened up the Ren and Du meridians. Not to mention anything else, I feel like playing Qin Fang should be no problem. Li Hao, who was secretly happy in his heart, suddenly lost all sleep and wished to turn over and get on his horse again. However, considering the need for a startup ceremony, we can only hold back. Sito, Li Hao shook Jing Tian awake. Seeing Jing Tian full of reluctance, Li Hao simply picked him up and headed towards the bathroom. We took a shower together and suddenly didn't feel sleepy. I came out of the bathroom feeling refreshed and changed into clean clothes. Jing Tian applied a light makeup, changed into a more casual outfit, and then put on a pair of sunglasses. The two of them went to the restaurant for breakfast, and the rest of the crew arrived. A total of 20 people attended the startup ceremony. After breakfast, everyone arrived at the makeshift stage. The stage was very simple, with only one background, the background of Sito, and a banner hanging on it that read, "Sito is in good luck." At this point, the table for worship has been prepared. On the table covered with red velvet, the cow's head, sheep's head, and pig's head are quietly placed in front, while the camera behind is covered with red cloth. I am worshipping Emperor Guan, who is both a martial saint and a god of wealth. To worship Guan Gong is to shoot smoothly and efficiently. Li Hao and Jing Tian offer incense to worship the gods. Come on, everyone, 3 incense sticks, for good luck. After Li Hao and Jing Tian finished offering incense, Li Hao began to gather others to come forward and offer incense. All staff members count one by one, queue up and burn incense in sequence. After offering incense, Li Hao lifted the red cloth covering the camera and then set off a string of firecrackers. Amidst the sound of firecrackers, Li Hao handed out a red envelope to everyone. The envelope was not large, but rather a celebration. Then everyone goes to the stage together to take a group still photo, as well as a group photo they want to take together. It is estimated that their startup ceremony was the coldest in the country, with no journalists or media present. Subsequently, the actors went to put on their makeup, but their set photos had not been taken yet. Female actors start with makeup and then male actors. When everyone finishes putting on their makeup and comes out, everyone's gaze was drawn to Jing Tian. At this moment, Jing Tian was wearing a milky white qipao, which looked noble and elegant. She was delicate but not flashy, reserved and had a high demeanor. Coupled with her high heels, she was incredibly beautiful. Upon seeing Jing Tian at this moment, Li Hao couldn't help but praise the makeup artist's superb makeup technique, which made Jing Tian not have the youthful charm of a girl at all, but have the charm of a mature woman. Subsequently, she began taking makeup photos. Shooting, of course, is not about shooting one scene at a time, but about shooting in one place first. They will be here for a period of time, traveling between Shangri-La, Dali, and Zishuangbana. After taking the makeup photos, the next step is to shoot the first scene. Napa Sea, a prepared tourist bus drove over from the road in the middle of the lake, looking from a distance as if it was driving on the surface of the lake. Under professional camera shooting, it is beautiful and fantastical. The camera kept zooming in, then entering the male lead's line of sight. The male lead Qin Fang, played by Li Hao, was chatting with his girlfriend and Man in the car. And Man, played by Chai Biyun, a classmate of Jing Tian. Chai Biyun is also a beautiful woman. Or rather, those who can enter the performance department of Beidian are not handsome men or beautiful women, they simply cannot enter. Just the art exam won't pass. For young boys and girls who want to become celebrities, the biggest challenge is not the college entrance examination, but the art exam. After passing the art exam, they have almost already entered school with both feet in their feet, leaving behind some buttocks that have not entered. Like Jing Tian, who scored 200 points in the college entrance examination and still entered Beidian, it is because art schools such as Beidian have much lower requirements for college entrance examination scores and can basically meet them. As for the performance department's art exam, appearance is an important indicator. At this moment, the tour bus is playing the pre-recorded footage, which was invited by teacher Wang Hongwei to shoot in advance. In this scene, Li Hao performed very well and felt that it was fabricated, but he didn't take it seriously and performed it all. And Chai Biyun also has some acting skills, which will generate interest from hearing about the tribe and perform it perfectly. A simple conversation is portrayed. The tour bus arrived at the tourist village. The indicators here have also been replaced with Dana in advance. Here, they will shoot for half a month. The first day of filming was slow and quickly ended. However, this is just the end of the actor's performance, and Li Hao and his team are still busy. They need to shoot some beautiful night scenes here, and the relevant shooting plans have been planned. They filmed according to the plan. The next morning, even before dawn, they filmed a jeep driving over a water road and using a drone to capture a set of top-down scenes. 9 twists and 18 turns, mysterious and beautiful. On this day, 2 cameras were activated, one of which captured the threatened driver bringing Sito's body to Dana and living alone here. Another camera captured Qin Fang and his girlfriend and Man searching for them on a map, but they couldn't find the Jia family in the wooden house. Through Qin Fang's conversation with Man, they talked about how the Jia family, who lived here, coincidentally helped Qin Fang's great-grandfather. Qin Fang's father learned about this before passing away and came to thank his benefactor. The story unfolds slowly. When Li Hao acted, it was the assistant director who took the lead. Although their production team is small, they have all the necessary skills and follow standard procedures. The plot quickly arrived, and Qin Fang and An Man had to first find a homestay to stay. Upon arriving at the homestay, they sat down for a while before a man surnamed Ma sat across from them. Strangely, An Man's face was very unpleasant. Not only during the day, but also at night, some scenes are filmed at night. Although the script is very clear and the camera division is also very clear, the filming process is still inevitably called cut, so the entire scene was filmed slowly, but the overall process was relatively smooth. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Trouble Comes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Trouble Comes. The filming of Sito is proceeding in an orderly manner. With sufficient preparation, the entire TV series was shot without any difficulty. The speed of shooting depends on the state of Jingtian. The most important aspect of this drama is the female lead Sito, and everything else is secondary. The male lead played by Li Hao has no problem with his acting skills. And Jingtian, with Li Hao's early entry into the drama for most of the previous month, had to teach her how to act well every night, and there were no major problems in acting. Napa High, Pidakuo National Forest Park, Zishuangbana Primitive Forest, Dukzong Ancient City, Chongqing Temple, 3 pagodas, Xingxing Bridge, Longwei Pass. Each scenic spot is a place for filming and filming. At first, the shooting speed was not fast, but as the crew adjusted, the shooting speed became faster and smoother. However, soon the shooting encountered problems. Jingtian, come over here. Li Hao almost spurted blood. Let Jingtian play the role of Sito, the goddess of cold and high, without any problem. In an emotional drama, the two of them are already lovers. When they play as lovers in the drama, there is no problem in expressing their emotions. But when playing Bai Ying, it's done. Li Hao was full of anger, but when he saw Jingtian looking innocent, he suddenly lost his temper. Don't be angry, I'm already very serious. Jingtian took Li Hao's hand and started acting coquettish. Please, my aunt. We've been filming for over 2 months now, and now we're stuck with you. Li Hao was about to burst into tears. The original plan was to shoot this drama for 4 months. Everything else was arranged well and went smoothly, but when filming Bai Ying's scenes, Bai Ying's madness, malice, and hatred caused Jingtian to have problems. At this moment, he finally understood why Sito, in his mind, was played by 2 people, Sito and Bai Ying. It is estimated that at that time, Jingtian's acting skills were still lacking, and the role of Bai Ying was difficult to perform. But this character is so difficult. Jingtian was distressed. Li Hao covers his face. He had to pause filming because the upcoming scenes would focus on the role of Bai Ying, and if this issue is not resolved, he won't be able to act at all. At this moment, he finally understood the difference between actors and celebrities. At this moment, he also understood that not everyone can eat the bowl of rice for actors. They need to have a certain talent and work hard. At this moment, he envied Sun Nyang a bit. A Zhen Huan character, from pure and infatuated at the beginning to blackened out at the end, effortlessly controlled the entire character. My girlfriend, if she wants to achieve this level, she probably has no hope in this lifetime. In the evening. After thinking about it, Li Hao decided to let someone else play Bai Ying. Otherwise, by the time my girlfriend becomes enlightened, it's likely that the cauliflower will be cold. The best solution is to have other actors play Bai Ying. In this way, there are also benefits, which is to make the character Sito fully beautiful, and let the character Bai Ying bear all the misfortunes and sorrows. That evening, Li Hao contacted Li Yixiao, who, although only 25 years old, was already an experienced, veteran actor. Coincidentally, Li Yixiao is also in Hengdian. The two agreed on a meeting place. An hour later, Li Hao met Li Yixiao. Li Yixiao's appearance is also quite high, and she has a unique temperament that makes Li Hao's eyes shine. The script was given to Li Yixiao, who flipped through it. Li Hao secretly praised his serious attitude towards reading the script. No wonder he could develop good acting skills. Such a person may not become a celebrity, but they can definitely be a good actor. The negotiation went smoothly. One urgently needed to find an actor, the other did not choose a script, and the remuneration was not high. They hit it off at once. The next day, Li Yixiao arrived on the set. However, He began to take additional shots, such as the one that killed Sito, and the split between Sito and Baiying. Baiying fell in love with Xiao Yanquan, but was constantly hurt by him. With Li Yixiao playing Baiying, the filming went smoothly again. Amazing. On this day, Li Hao was filming while Sito watched Baiying's play. Li Hao secretly praised. Li Yixiao is truly from the background of Peking opera, and she sings the opera very well. That figure and posture make you look like an expert. Go straight through. When Li Hao was planning to discuss the next shooting with the deputy director, the recording hurriedly walked over. Director Li, it's a bit troublesome. A group leader came with a few Chinese opera students. What's going on? Li Hao frowned. What are these group leaders doing? My own production team is not a major production team and has no reputation. Up to now, there hasn't been a single media reporter covering it, and not a single report can be seen. I asked, now many people come to Hengdian for tourism. The group of young people dressed up as students fooled around at the train station, but they didn't expect to be students from the Central Academy of Drama, explained the recording. Li Hao is speechless, such a thing can also happen to him. These group leaders often do this kind of thing, and there are often tourists who want to experience what acting feels like, as well as those who pursue celebrities, even if it's not for a salary. A group performance without salary, the group leader likes it the most, and the money belongs to the group leader. Slowly, there are also people who specialize in deceiving tourists to act as group performers. For only 10 or 20 yuan, you can experience acting, and then the group leader can earn money from the production team, and both ends can earn more with the money. With a furrowed brow, Li Hao began to ponder. These group leaders are also not easy to offend. If you want to have group performances, you have to go through these group leaders. Furthermore, those students who are still in the Central Academy of Drama. There is a saying for several major art schools in China. I want to become a celebrity and take the Beijing Film and Television Examination, and I want to become an actor and take the Central Academy Film and Television Examination. Although it is purely a joke, there is some truth to it. There are significant differences in the performance majors and performance textbooks between Zhongxi and Beidian, even among young students. Learning to perform is also very tiring, and can be said to be the most tiring profession in the film and television industry. There is morning work in the morning, a full schedule of classes for the day, and classes at night. So there is a rule in Chinese opera that students are not allowed to take on acting during their freshman year, to prevent students from delaying their studies. This rule led Mei Ting to choose to drop out of school because of filming. On the contrary, Beidian is much easier. And this has led to the emergence of many celebrities in Beidian, and as for their acting skills, it is difficult to describe them in a single word. In contrast, there are many actors in Zhongxi, and many people even go to play plays after filming movies and TV dramas to exercise their stage skills. After some thought, Li Hao agreed to them as a group performer. When the group leader came over with a few students, their eyes were all shining. Chinese opera is not something that students would take on in their freshman year, but as students in the performing arts department, they have a longing for both the production team and filming. No need to pay, just give them a boxed meal, and they'll be thrilled. Looking at these students and thinking about the group performances of those old fogies before, the gap is not generally large. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Glory of the Tang Dynasty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7 Glory of the Tang Dynasty. Whether it's from Beidian, Zhongxi, or Shaanxi, students in the performing arts department have excellent looks and can definitely be called handsome and beautiful. These 6 Chinese opera students are no exception. 4 women and 2 men, each one is handsome and beautiful. Wow, is that Jing Tian from Beidian? She looks so beautiful in a qipao. I heard that the director of this crew is also a sophomore student at Beidian University. TSK, you can start directing and acting in your sophomore year, that's cheating. I heard that Li Hao and Jing Tian are still lovers. Is it the wealthy second generation? With so much money, is it the coal second generation? A few people were chatting in low voices. Li Hao doesn't have time to accompany them and continues filming. They became addicted to playing tricks and left. Since Li Yixiao played Bai Ying, the filming of the entire crew has become smoother. There's no need to constantly get stuck because of Jing Tian playing Bai Ying. This 25-year-old actress left a deep impression on Li Hao. She is not very old, but she does have acting skills. Even if sometimes the performance is not up to par, once pointed out, adjustments can be made quickly. That night, in the hotel room, Jing Tian, who had just changed into a clean nightgown after taking a shower, leaned against Li Hao in frustration and said, "Do you think I have no talent for acting? Although I received the script early, I just can't perform it." Li Hao suddenly became happy. Jing Tian has been hit hard. Having this realization is quite good, it indicates that there is still salvation. However, he didn't fall into trouble either. Instead, he comforted, "You've already done a good job. You're just in your sophomore year, and you're slowly improving. Every day, you're getting better and better, and over the course of a year or two, you're becoming more objective." To be honest, among the entire Beijing 07 performance class, Jing Tian should have the highest appearance, but the most talented performer may be Shuang Mei. "Is this your new script?" Jing Tian glanced at Li Hao's notebook and exclaimed in surprise. Now that Sito has not been shot yet, Li Hao has started preparing the script. "Well, I've had some inspiration during this time." Li Hao felt a bit overwhelmed with tears and laughter in his heart. He had been preparing Glory of the Tang Dynasty for over a month, but Jing Tian finally realized it. This insight is amazing. In the past few months, Li Hao has had many TV dramas and movies in his mind, all starring Jing Tian. His level of directing has greatly improved from all aspects and angles. However, the one who chose the next script was Glory of the Tang Dynasty. Because of everything else, either there are copyright issues or it's just unbearable. Although, the Glory of the Tang Dynasty also changed the novel, The Legend of the Pearl of the Empress Dowager of the Tang Dynasty, the copyright still exists, and Li Hao has already obtained the film and television copyright. Li Hao has already completed the script for The Glory of Tang Dynasty. What we're doing now is splitting the camera. After the filming of Sito and the TV dramas and movies in his mind during this period, Li Hao's level has grown rapidly and his requirements have also increased significantly. He polished the script several times, changing it again and again. Split shot, it's almost done now. Li Hao, get up and go take a shower. Jing Tian looked at it and found it more and more interesting. For a moment, I was completely immersed in it. After taking a shower, Li Hao came out and saw Jing Tian immersed in the script. He smiled and didn't disturb her, picking up his thin laptop on the side. This thin laptop is from Jing Tian, in pink style. Li Hao was browsing through the news, and towards the end of the year, various summaries about this year kept coming out. In 2008, the entertainment industry was full of excitement, and the movie, Lust, Caution, released at the end of last year was full of controversy. Li Hao even went to see the indescribable scenes inside, which were eye-opening. Tang Wei helped him understand what it means to dedicate oneself to art. Tang Wei also achieved fame and fortune through his film, Lust, Caution, becoming a top-tier celebrity with continuous endorsements and endless dramas. However, in terms of emotions, one must pay a price. As a man, one cannot bear the indescribable scenes. Tang Wei's boyfriend, Tian Yu, is no exception. The love story that was about to lead to marriage suddenly came to an end, and Tian Yu appeared with another actor last month after obtaining a certificate. As a result, Lust, Caution won the award, and Tang Wei, who sacrificed herself for art, only received the Best Newcomer award at the Golden Horse Awards as the female lead. The debate over whether Liang Yingdi and Tang Wei actually fought or not has become a focal point in various forums. However, the biggest news in the entertainment industry this year is not about any movie or TV series. All the entertainment news kings belong to Teacher Chen. Teacher Chen, with his own efforts, has overturned the entire entertainment industry in Xinjiang, causing a situation where Xinjiang is unable to keep up. There's no way, Xinjiang is the most popular young male and female artist of the younger generation. 3 are the parties involved, and 1 is the party's husband. Afterwards, several people either withdrew from the circle or their careers plummeted, even Xie Tingfeng, who was a husband and brother, went downhill. The twins group, which was popular for a while, will become a distant and unpredictable one day after their next stop. This is still the most popular. You should know that there are over 1,400 photos, but they involve 15 female stars, who are also quite famous. Seeing this, Li Hao couldn't help but feel a bit heartbroken. He originally downloaded over 1,400 photos from his computer, but as a result, he lost all of those over 100 gigabytes videos. Teacher Chen still knows how to play, and his photography skills are also good. If he works hard, he can become an excellent photographer even if he can't be a celebrity. Li Hao muttered to himself. However, he also has to thank Teacher Chen. Teacher Chen set an example and warned him not to take photos no matter how much he played, safety comes first. Even if the computer is not broken, who knows if it will be cracked by a hacker. While Li Hao was browsing through the annual summary of entertainment news, Jing Tian also had a positive view of the script. This script is written so well, I really like it. Jing Tian said happily. Shouldn't that be something to show? Li Hao said with a slight curl of his mouth and a mischievous smile. You. Jing Tian's big eyes flickered, but he still went to take out a qipao. Half an hour later, it finally got better. When Jing Tian walked out wearing a qipao and high heels, Li Hao's eyes lit up. Even though I have seen it countless times in the past few months, I still feel amazed every time. At this moment, the image of a wealthy flower in the world is so vivid. Noble, proud and charming, now fully displayed. When she was bare-faced, Jing Tian was already very beautiful, even in the entertainment industry, she belonged to the top. Now I have put on some makeup, which is exactly the same as Sito when shooting. At a glance, it makes people feel like they have been electrocuted all over. Qin Fang, Sito, at this moment, emotions are brewing at their best. Deep down, love naturally grows stronger, and everything comes naturally. The romantic love story between humans and demons is unfolding at this moment. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Killing Youth. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Killing Youth. On December 25th, Sito welcomed its final day of filming. That is to say, Sito and Buying fought against Zhou Shan. The actor who played Zhou Shan was Xie Juanhao, a skilled actor. The best performing actor in the entire crew. The portrayal of the hills at different stages is very exciting, with both good and cruel aspects. A very complex character, but Xie Juanhao completely controls this character. Even if Li Yixiao is compared to him, the strength of her acting skills is clear at a glance. When he showed his cruelty, he seemed to be the greatest villain in the world, making Li Hao shudder. When he was stubborn, he seemed to be the most stubborn person in the world, deeply rooted in his soul, vowing to kill Sito and all the barbarians. But when he is kind, he is also a very kind person, a kind-hearted person can be seen from the eyes. But it's normal to think about it. This one has won the Golden Horse Award and the Golden Horse Award for Best Actor. Sito and Beiying, facing the powerful hill, ultimately chose to merge. In the end, the merged Sito and Zhou Shan perished together. Click, pass. I announce that Sito has been completed. Li Hao happily announced. It's done. The crew couldn't help but cheer. Releasing inner oppression. The entire crew completed the filming from September 1st to December 25th today, taking 4 months and 116 days. A total of 1,900 people participated, and now it has finally been completed. Li Hao can finally relax for 2 days. Compared to ordinary employees on the set, he is much more tired as a director and male lead. A meeting should be held every 2 days to discuss the filming of the next 2 days with the assistant director and others. The specific arrangements for each shot should be considered, and it is not advisable to consider how to shoot when it is time to shoot. Every night, we also need to take a rough look at the daytime shots, which is the biggest workload for the entire crew. The high-intensity work has exhausted Li Hao's brain and body. Li Hao has decided to take a good rest for a few days after the final shooting, and then go for post-production editing, color matching, and dubbing. Yes, except for Xie Juanhao, Li Hao, and Li Yixiao, who can use the original sound, everyone else needs to dub. Finally, everyone worked hard a little harder. We collected all the things and moved them onto the car. We also cleaned up the scene and had a meal together later, said Li Hao. The youth-killing banquet is also a farewell dinner. There was a big meal to eat, and everyone suddenly became energized. The crew of Sito has sufficient funds and decent food and accommodation. It took over half an hour to move all the equipment onto the car and clean up the scene. The production team added equipment and a bus headed towards the Shangri-La Hotel in a grand manner. The wedding banquet will be held at the Shangri-La Hotel. There are 4 tables in total. Good wine and good dishes are served. As a director, Li Hao respectfully offered his first toast and said, "Thank you all for your hard work over the past 4 months, which allowed my first TV drama to be successfully completed. The TV drama, Sito, also belongs to everyone. Thank you all. Raise your glass and drink it all in one gulp." Pop 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 pop. Everyone applauded and then picked up their glasses. In the past 4 months, Li Hao's performance has impressed everyone. The acting skills are online, and the director's level may seem inexperienced at first, but the improvement is very rapid. Starting from the 2nd month of filming, the entire production team became the talk shop of Li Hao, and everyone was convinced of his abilities. They believe that Li Hao has great potential in the future. Li Hao sent a red envelope to everyone, and this time the red envelope was much larger than when it was turned on. Everyone is even happier holding red envelopes. Everyone enjoyed a meal, both host and guest. Eating creates an atmosphere, and once the atmosphere is good, everything is the same and everyone is happy. Director Li, thank you for trusting me and giving me this opportunity. Li Yixiao toasted to Li Hao. Upon arriving on the set, she realized that her remuneration was already the highest among the entire crew, second only to Xie Juanhao. Li Hao smiled and said, "It's your excellent acting skills that helped me. Maybe we'll have more opportunities to cooperate in the future." Li Yixiao was even happier when she heard Li Hao say so. In the film and television industry, directors hold a much higher position than actors. It's always actors flattering the director, no director flattering the actors. Besides, Li Hao is not only a director, but also runs his own company. If it weren't for knowing that Jing Tian was Li Hao's girlfriend, Li Yixiao would have wanted to go see Li Hao tonight and ask how to act. That's settled, I'm looking forward to working with Director Li again, Li Yixiao said with a smile. Xie Juanhao also toasted Li Hao and said, "Director Li, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I really like the role of Qiu Shan." Xie Juanhao is also the highest paid and most prestigious actor on the set. The role can be said to be second only to the male and female protagonists. It almost runs through the entire TV series. "You're welcome, I believe it won't be long before we cooperate again," Li Hao smiled. The two clinked their glasses and drank them all in one gulp. Toasted to Li Hao one by one. One cup after another. I don't even know how Li Hao will return to his room in the end. Wake up the next day. Li Hao has a slight headache and feels weak all over, especially uncomfortable. Get up and take a bottle of mineral water, remove the bottle cap, and drink it all in one gulp. She shook her head with a bitter smile. I have such a small tolerance for alcohol that I can easily get drunk at a youth-killing banquet. It seems like I need to strengthen my physical exercise, but my body is too weak now. I feel a bit weak when walking, and I've been exhausted in the past 4 months. Sometimes at night, I feel overwhelmed. This made him realize that it was necessary to exercise. I took a shower in the bathroom and gave it a rinse, which made me feel much more comfortable. Opening the curtains, the sunlight shone in, and Li Hao took a deep breath of fresh air. The completion of Sito made him feel relaxed all over. The whole person seems a bit lazy. As for Jing Tian, who was still sleeping in bed at the moment, Li Hao had no intention of even moving his mind. He is now in the time of the wise. Take out pu'er tea, boil it, and leisurely drink it. Leisure days always seem fleeting. After returning to school, Li Hao began editing. The school has a dedicated editing room. All shooting materials have been imported into the computer, including unqualified clips. The first step is to delete all unqualified shots. When filming, every shot and every shooting situation will be recorded and marked. The ones that pass directly, those that are reserved, and those that can be passed are all marked and clear at a glance during editing. Li Hao personally edited the film, and the entire film was in his mind. So the editing speed is very fast. In just 10 days, the complete 29-episode TV series was edited. The special effects made by Tiangong Yitsai have also been completed. Li Hao looked at the special effects section and was very satisfied with the special effects. Tiangong Yitsai deserves to be called Tiangong Yitsai. Although it has been established for more than 2 years, its strength is quite good. The whole film suddenly became smooth. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Immortals Singing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9 Immortals Singing. The editing is done, it's not over yet. Next, we need to adjust the colors. The color palette is available at Beidian. This is not something that every film and television company has. A basic set of black apples costs 20,000 to 30,000 yuan, while professional color palettes cost over 100,000 to 200,000 yuan. Finding a professional company requires spending money. Li Hao is good at color mixing, and his skills in this area are already quite good. Color matching is no less important for a TV series than editing, as it is the most crucial stage in the post-production process. Both are enough to determine the success or failure of a TV series. There are thousands of color combinations, and when colors are mixed together, it is not only the form seen by the eyes, but also through these color schemes, the atmosphere of a TV drama and the inner world of characters can be presented. Color mixers are also a highly specialized industry, and it is not an exaggeration to say that they have the highest professional difficulty in the film and television-related industry. A first-class colorist is rarer than a first-class photographer or artist. Li Hao cannot be considered a first-class colorist, but his level is definitely not inferior. It took a few days to complete the color matching. After completing the color adjustment, the entire TV series adds a lot of color. Subsequently, Li Hao began to find a dubbing team to dub the TV series. Dubbing actors are equally important. He approached Ji Guanlin and asked him to voice Sito. Ji Guanlin, a voice actor under 30 years old, is already very famous. At the same time, the voice acting of other actors was also handed over to the studio where Ji Guanlin works. The entire dubbing work will take approximately 10 days. And at this time, it happens to be recording the theme song, ending song, and interlude. He didn't plan on using the opening and ending songs in his mind. For the opening song, he plans to use, If You Walk Freely, and for the ending song, he will use, Pointing to the Moon with Your Left Hand. And these two songs naturally have to find Sa Ding Ding. Others probably can't sing that kind of flavor either. Recording studio. Li Hao and Jing Tian drove here. They also need to record a song separately. When he saw a woman, Li Hao immediately recognized her, and it was with the help of The Birth of All Things that Sa Ding Ding Ding, which had become popular throughout the country in recent days. Teacher Sa. Jing Tian appeared very polite. Teacher Sa, could you please make a special trip this time? Li Hao shook hands with Sa Ding Ding. Director Li, you're welcome. I really like those 2 songs from you, said Sa Ding Ding with joy on his face. She fell in love with the songs, Free Walking Flowers, and Left Hand Pointing to the Moon, all at once. I feel like these 2 songs should be sung by her. Therefore, when recording these 2 songs, she doesn't want to pay a penny, just ask for the copyright to be granted to her. Li Hao agreed. Anyway, these 2 songs are not something that ordinary people can sing. Enter the recording studio and start preparing for recording. To record this original song, there is no accompaniment tape in the recording studio, so the accompaniment score needs to be recorded first before recording the song. This recording studio is quite good, and the accompaniment was not long before it was recorded. The recorder made an OK gesture and Sa Ding Ding stood in front of the microphone. The clever accompaniment also followed closely, without any competition for the top chant. At this moment, Li Hao and Jing Tian felt their scalp tingling, and a cool aura rushed straight towards the heavenly spirit cap. What level of chanting is this? Immediately afterwards, Sa Ding Ding sang with her unique voice. If I walk freely, if I walk freely. The singing is like a murmuring fairy voice, ethereal and lonely, like the lofty peak of a snow peak, holy and gentle, with a little bit of fragility, like a snow lotus. Li Hao, Jing Tian, the recording engineer, and others have become stagnant. This is simply a divine level performance. Singing so well. I'm impressed. Jing Tian exclaimed. She also liked this song very much, but the requirements were too high. She tried it a few times but gave up. Now listening to Sa Ding Ding sing, she was convinced and admired to the fullest. Record the song and go through it over and over again. This song is so beautiful, it will definitely become popular, the recording engineer couldn't help but exclaim. I don't know how many songs he has recorded, but he still has the ability to distinguish them. This song made his scalp tingle and goosebumps rise from listening to it. It's still Li Daoj who wrote it well. Sa Ding Ding was also very satisfied with his performance. Li Hao smiled and said, It's Teacher Sa. You sing well, I admire you. After a while, Sa Ding Ding said, Let's start recording the second song and play the accompaniment of Left Hand Pointing to the Moon. She needs to work hard and record the 2 songs. In this way, buying a few more songs can lead to an album. No problem, the recorder made an OK gesture. Li Hao and Jing Tian both held their breath and looked at Sa Ding Ding, raising their ears. The accompaniment music sounded, and as the prelude to the song approached its end, Sa Ding Ding also sang. Hold the earth in your left hand and the sky in your right hand. The palm print cracked with lightning from 10 directions. Hastily exchanged time for years. 3,000 lifetimes, as unseen. Hold the flower in your left hand and dance the sword in your right hand. 10,000 years of snow fell between my eyebrows. A drop of tears, ah ah. That's me, ah ah ah. A song full of zen and ethereal sounds, stunning and stunning. When the final treble, one wave after another, it seems as if the whole world has calmed down. Perfect. The true heavenly sound. This is simply making it impossible to cover. Thinking about Jing Tian humming these past few days, Li Hao wanted to throw her away directly. At this moment, he finally understood what it meant to be a fairy singing. This type of singer is definitely at the ceiling level and is not comparable to amateur singers at all. When Sa Ding Ding finished singing a song, everyone in the room couldn't help but applaud. A good song not only shakes the heart, but also makes the soul feel palpitations. And Sa Ding Ding, on the other hand, bowed to everyone, appearing particularly humble. Teacher Sa, you sing so well. Li Hao couldn't help but give Sa Dingding a thumbs up. Even though he had listened to these two songs many times, the live performance in the recording studio was even more explosive, far beyond the comparison of the songs in his mind. It's really great, really amazing. The recording engineer was also amazed. He has seen those who sing well, and he has also heard good songs. But the two songs recorded by Sa Dingding today are actually the most top-notch. If these two songs are not popular yet, it's simply unreasonable. It's all Li Daoj who looks good and has a good score. Sa Dingding said humbly. The two songs of Sa Dingding have been recorded, and then Li Hao and Jing Tian will record the songs. Li Hao was average and completed the recording 3 times. And Jing Tian was in a miserable situation. I don't know if he was influenced by Sa Dingding's singing just now, or what happened. He recorded it over and over again. Even with the guidance of Sa Dingding, the recording was not completed until after 8 p.m. When the recording engineer confirmed that the recording was okay, Li Hao almost burst into tears. It's not easy. End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Mango Terrace. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10 Mango Terrace January 23, December 28. All work has been completed. Don't go to CCTV to try your luck. Jing Tian tilted his head. CCTV is the largest television station and has the greatest influence. It would be best to be on CCTV. Even if the initial broadcast cost is relatively low, it may not be possible to recover the cost, but the second round of playback can actually make a profit. CCTV is very sad about this topic. Li Hao shook his head slightly. Li Hao has also carefully considered the choice of television station. CCTV basically doesn't even need to think about it. Besides CCTV, Mango TV and Zhejiang TV are the best choices, and among them, Mango TV is the first choice. Mango Terrace, daring to break conventions, targets mainly young people such as students, which is undoubtedly consistent with Sito. Moreover, Mango Channel has 2 flagship variety shows, Happy Camp and Everyday Upward, which are very amazing for promoting celebrities and TV dramas. If you can choose a Mango stand, it is naturally the best. I'll accompany you on a trip to Mango Terrace. Jing Tian said. Li Hao looked at Jing Tian in surprise and said, aren't you going home for the Chinese New Year? Long-winded, this is your first TV drama. It's my first time as a female lead, and going home is not important for my career, said Jing Tian. Li Hao thought for a moment and realized that having a beautiful woman by his side would be the best. Holding their briefcase, the two of them headed to the airport. Take a plane to Changsha. Upon arriving at Changsha Airport, the two immediately took a taxi to Mango Terrace. Mango counter, explain your purpose to the front desk. The front desk is in a dilemma. Jing Tian picked up his phone and made a phone call. Then the two were taken to a conference room. Not long after, a few people came over. Uncle Ouyang, please. Jing Tian apologized. What's the trouble? Watching movies is our normal process, said Director Ouyang with a smile. Li Hao muttered to himself that China is indeed a society of human relationships. It's related, it's easy to handle things. Director Ouyang, it's Chinese New Year and I'm sorry to visit you again. Thank you for giving us a chance, Li Hao said quickly. Director Li, right. The opportunity is for you, but whether you can seize it depends on yourself. Whether we purchase or not depends on the quality. If the quality is too poor, said Director Ouyang. That's that. Li Hao said. Director Li, let's start straight. Have you brought all the materials? A deputy director sat up straight and took out a pen and paper. It's all here. Li Hao pushed over all the materials on the desktop, these are all programs. Looking through the materials, the deputy director was somewhat surprised and said, Director Li, are you still the screenwriter and lead actor of this TV series? Li Hao smiled and said, "Yes, it's me. I'm also the only investor and I own all the copyright." Director Li is young and promising, he is indeed a hero born in youth, exclaimed in admiration, and then continued to read the materials. In addition to the company's business license, qualifications and other materials, it is also the inspection of the review materials. Before filming a TV drama, the script also needs to undergo review, and only after passing the review can a filming license be issued. Before broadcasting, the cost also needs to be reviewed before obtaining a broadcasting license. With the help of the school, it's easy to handle this. After all, Sito has no place to step on the red line, even if there is one, it is still on the sidelines. All the information has been reviewed, and without further ado, I'll just watch the TV drama. In the conference room, there is a large TV screen. Connect well, click on play. At the beginning, it was the beginning of the film, and everyone couldn't help but tremble when they heard the opening song. Later on, I felt a bit uneasy. As the saying goes, the catchy song from a bad movie is so impressive, isn't it a bad movie? But soon, with the opening ceremony, when Sito appeared, everyone was attracted by the charming and alluring human wealth and fortune flower, with every frown and smile, making people immerse themselves in it. But when they saw it, Sito directly received the boxed lunch, and each one was so angry that they wanted to curse their mother. In a flash, it was over 70 years, and the beautiful scenery was displayed in their eyes. As the scenes unfolded, they saw the male protagonist Qin Fong thrown out of the car and pierced his chest with a wooden stick. By the end of the first episode, they were still somewhat unsatisfied. Director Ouyang muttered a few words to the deputy director on the side, then stood up and said, "You guys continue to watch the movie, I'll take a walk beforehand." "Uncle Ouyang, hurry up," Jingtian said politely. And in the conference room, we continued to watch the second episode, which skipped the opening song and entered the real content. An episode of 45 minutes, which includes the opening and ending of the film, and the true main content, less than 40 minutes. Unconsciously, time had already arrived at 9 p.m. After looking at the time, the deputy director said, "We have also watched a part of the play, which is very good in terms of rhythm, creativity, suspense, and the performance of the protagonist. Very suitable for young people, one episode costs 1 million yuan. Director Li, what do you think of this price?" The deputy director looked at Jingtian and then said. Li Hao widened his eyes. This is too unexpected. His bottom price is 400,000 yuan per episode, so he can recover the cost in the first round. It's not that he lacks confidence, but because he's just a newcomer to the film and television industry, completely lacking in fame. The actors used are just some of Xie Juanhao's famous, let's not mention anything else. At present, the average level in the market is 350,000 yuan per episode, and for new directors, being able to sell for 200,000 yuan per episode is already a good achievement. The result is good. Mango Channel started with 1 million yuan per episode, which means that the first round of broadcasting rights for Sito can not only recoup costs, but also make a big profit. This mango stand is really a dog tycoon. No problem, this purchase price is very sincere. What can Li Hao say? Naturally, they agreed. Then it's time to determine the release date, which will premiere on March 1st. The broadcast time will be from 8 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. during the prime time slot, with 2 episodes per day. The first episode will be at 7:40 p.m. on Friday and Saturday evenings, and the second episode will be at 22 o'clock p.m. As for the reason, of course, it is to make way for the 2 flagship variety shows, Day Up and Happy Camp. Li Hao naturally has no problem with this. The agreement was signed quickly. Then they began to build momentum for the premiere. Firstly, there is entertainment gossip, which requires a certain amount of money. Otherwise, these entertainment gossip would not have been reported at all. Then we invited Water Army on the internet to post water on some movies and TV plays. However, the most powerful one was when Sa Ding Ding released two songs, Free Walking Flower, and Left Hand Pointing to the Moon, which directly caused a huge uproar in the Chinese music industry. Firstly, Walking Freely shocked the entire Chinese music industry upon its release, and countless people fell in love with this song. In just 5 days, it was pushed to the top of various charts. Then, after 15 days of release, Left Hand Finger Moon was even more powerful, reaching the top of the charts in just 2 days. A singer who occupies the top 2 spots on the leaderboard. And these 2 songs, one is the opening song of Sito, and the other is the ending song of Sito. Even the edited MV appeared. Many people are eagerly anticipating this TV series. Let Sito become popular before it airs. End of this chapter.